Yes. Oh, okay, we need to pay attention to them. Stop talking. Good afternoon, everybody. I can still hear me. There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Go Live. Thanks for joining us. It is February 24th.
Yes,
I know that because it says it right down there in the bottom right-hand corner. We were just discussing earlier how we've never been on Go Live
I
together.
don't think so.
Welcome. It's fun to be here with you.
I know it's been a lot of fun so far.
She's probably been on like virtually, but we've never been sit at the same table together.
Yeah.
So it is an honor to share the screen with you, Christina Collignon.
Thanks.
In fact, what's fun about today is I think this is the first time we've had the same topic 2 weeks in a row, the same presenters. So we're going to introduce Sharan to the conversation in just a moment, but it's that important, you guys. We decided to have you and Sharan come back and do a workshop because last week you guys touched on the topic from a philosophical, theoretical, educational level. But today we're going to dive down deep and we're going to actually walk through the steps.
Yes.
Because when you do it, when Sharan does it, it's not that complicated. No. And it's that important because what we'll talk about in just a moment is it doesn't matter how great you guys are, and you guys are some of the best agents in the business, the best trained, the most ethical, the highly competent, the best agents in the business, as I said. But that won't matter if no one can find you online.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And everything's shifted, right? It's gone from Google and SEO, Google search engines, to AI driven.
And if you think about how you're looking up things online, whether it's finding shoes or a restaurant, a lot of people are using AI to find that.
And you told me this, even if they're not using AI, and I'm using the old-fashioned Google. Old-fashioned Google.
Old-fashioned Google.
Sound like my grandpa. AI search results are usually coming at the top.
A lot of times they do come at the top, and honestly, even if they're not at the top, I find myself sometimes scrolling until I do find the AI thing, just because I want to see what it says.
Yeah, that's just what it says, right?
Always do your research, obviously.
Yeah.
But.
So we're not going to try to make you AI experts. We understand that some of you are still kind of baby stepping into this process, but we do think that this is, if you do one thing, this one quarter, please promise yourself that you're going to do this.
Yes.
So that you can get found online and you make sure that you don't get overlooked.
And we're going to walk you through step by step. We don't have any slides today. We're going straight into ChatGPT to look at 2 different custom GPTs. We're going to go into My Connect and Resource Center. So if anything, you'll have at least those 2 things updated today, plus some of the other sources we talked about last week.
So you're saying we're going to go live?
We're going live.
We're going live. All right, we're going to keep up with our name. All right, but before we do that, we do have some important announcements that we're going to go through. Speaking of education, we want you all to know that Success Path, we've been doing Success Path for a number of years. Sam has perfected it over the years and has created a lot of excellent agents over the years, right? A lot of success from Success Path. But we thought it was time to revamp it. So Christina Miller, who's not with us today, she's probably watching from home. So let's all say hi to Christina. She has revamped it and made it even better, if that was even possible. So the 3-path learning system is now created. So Sam, if you want to go to the next slide. So we've created 3 pillars. So the first one is foundation. And this is what a Success Path used to be, right? Where we gave our agents the foundation necessary. And it wasn't just for newly licensed folks. A lot of our experienced, what we would call legacy agents, found Success Path useful. So I don't want you thinking that this is just for newly licensed people. If you have been licensed for a hot minute or you've been licensed for a long time, this is a good consideration for you to take. It's not, you have to join it for a duration time. You can pop in at any time, register tomorrow, register a month from now, and it's going to be still relevant for you. So you can see core topics, contracts, disclosures, agency, fair housing, all stuff that you need to know to be able to transact and conduct business in real estate. So really, really important. That's why we call it the foundation. Pretty smart, huh?
Very smart.
Okay, next pillar is the practice. Right now that you got the foundation, it's how do you do this? What's your sales strategy? What's your mindset? What do you do to actually get clients and get them across the finish line? I remember getting my real estate license and going through all of the training, and they said, great, you got your license, you went through all this training. Now you don't know anything. Now the real learning begins, right? Now the learning on what you need to do to actually find a client and help them purchase and sell a home. So that's what this is all about. Sales skills, prospecting, presentation, negotiation. Oh my gosh, look, AI.
AI, yep. I will, well, We will be doing an AI class in a few weeks, but this Thursday I'm teaching a social media class. So if you want to join, you can just pop in just for that class or go take a look at all the other classes on there. But very excited to do some social media best practices on Thursday.
We're going to give them in a moment where to go to find out more of these classes and how to sign up for it. But yeah, good shameless plug, Christina.
Come join me.
And then the third and final pillar is conversations with top producers. This is one of my favorites. This is where our agents learn from the best of the best. And whether that's fellow agents here in our own California properties, because we have some of the best of the best, but because of Sam's work with Jimmy Burgess and because we are part of a large family, Home Services of America enterprise, we get exposure to some great talent all across the US. And so Sam has invited some of these top producers to come and have these conversations with Christina Miller and you, our agents. And these are great, lively conversations. It's interactive, right? And they're usually small groups, so you can ask your questions, you can get your answers. And it's just a great way for you to find out how they built their business. I know Sam often says that success leaves clues, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. Just talk to someone who's got the level of success doing business the way you want to do business and just ask them.
Yeah,
right?
we were with a couple of those agents this morning, actually.
We were actually, as a matter of fact. So, and it was kind of fun to hear some of their advice, huh?
Yeah.
Some of it was what I expected, and some of it was kind of surprising.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're going to have them on Conversations with the Top Producer for sure in an upcoming episode. So success path, always on, always growing. Sam, I know you can hear us. Where would they go if they want to learn more about how to register for these classes, especially the one coming up on Thursday with Christina and social media?
So they get there by going to our Percipio, our Agent Development Center. So you can just go to My Connect and then head over to Percipio, and you'll be able to find everything right there.
There, okay, good. The voice from above. Thank you, Sam. Okay, one more slide. Speaking of Jimmy Burgess, Mastermind. So you guys, I know many of you have done it because the numbers each week keep increasing. So thank you for tuning in. Speaking of learning from others and learning from success, Jimmy just has great speakers on every week. And so, we're noticing more listings. We're excited. The year has started. We're past Super Bowl, right? Sam calls that the official start of the new year. So we're now getting all these new listings online. Great. Now we got to get them sold, right? And so the market has slowed a little bit. Buyers are getting off the fence. Interest rates have worked in our favor recently. So that's all really good news. So Jimmy's going to share with us some great tips some of our agents are using to go from cold to sold without reducing the sales price, right? So tune in this Friday. Used to start at 8. They've moved it now to 9. So you have no excuse not to join Jimmy and Sam on Friday Quick Win Collective, Mastermind series with Jimmy Burgess. So I know you've tuned in quite a few to some of these.
I was just going to say we tuned in to Jason Pantana, who was talking a lot about AEO and GEO, which is what Sharan and I also talked about last week. So definitely watch that recording in addition to the one that Sharan and I did last week on Go Live.
So Sam, the voice above, these recordings are also found somewhere?
Yes, you can find them in 2 spots, actually on Percipio and on Jimmy Burgess's coaching website, which is on YouTube.
Okay.
So you find Jimmy Burgess there.
Beautiful.
And one shameless plug, if you don't mind, both Go Live and the Quick Win Collective will be broadcasting from the convention floor.
That's right.
At the next BHHS convention in Nashville, Tennessee. So
March 22nd through the 24th.
Thank you very much. And so if you plan on being there, come by and say hi. Maybe you'll put on a few headphones and speak into a mic for us. That would be a lot of fun. And if you haven't decided to go, why haven't you decided to go?
I know.
I mean, you got to
Tim
go.
McGraw, Jimmy Burgess, Sam Guillen, it's all there.
Christina
Collignon.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's Vince Lacey and Chris Kelly too. Oh, there we go. Everyone's going to be there. Okay, and I think one of our last slides okay, 2 more slides. Listing showcase, right? You guys, this is an incredible way. So Jimmy Burgess is going to talk about from cold to sold. I'm sure one of his tips he's going to talk about is our incredible program we have with Zillow and Listing Showcase. I don't know if you guys know this, but not only does it help with the presentation, you get the wonderful treatment of the photos and the way that the listings are featured on Zillow. But for the first 7 days, your listing on Zillow is boosted. So not only is it shown to the buyer with the criteria that the buyer is looking for, it's boosted so that it also gets put in front of buyers that may not necessarily have that same criteria, but it gets shown to a lot more people. And
Yep.
that is why you can see some of the stats here. So what you're looking at is some of the resources that you as an agent can use if you're trying to prospect for more sellers. This is something that you could use in your farm or in your marketing to tell the sellers that you have the tool to get eyeballs on their listing.
Yep.
And you can find this in our marketing resource. If you've not used Listing Showcase and you just took a new listing, or you're going on a listing presentation and you want to arm yourself with this information, go to the Listing Showcase or the Zillow Listing Showcase in My Connect. You'll get all the information you need and all the ways that you can access this program. If you've already done Listing Showcase and you already have your Zillow dashboard, just know that now it's much easier for you to purchase a Listing Showcase because you can do it right there on the Zillow dashboard. And oh, by the way, it's at an even deeper discount,
Yep.
right? Last year, thanks to our size with home services and our great negotiation ability, we went from like $700 a month down to $199. And guess what? This year we went down to $150. So keeps getting better. So again, use this tool if you are trying to get a listing. It's a great way to set yourself apart and get the phone to ring and capture a listing opportunity. But it's also a great way to get more eyeballs on the listings that you already have. So
Yep. Great resource that we have.
great resource. All right. And last but not least, speaking of great resources, I know a lot of our folks know Dergalis for our commission deductions. If you want to like do a tax deferred account, you want to do a self-funded IRA account, all those things that set you up as a business. That is something we heard this morning from our top producing agents when they were talking about what they recommend agents to do, and that their recommendation was treat yourself like a business.
Yep.
So Dergalis helps our agents do that. But what I'm talking to you today about is our health insurance. It's open enrollment. These are the guaranteed issue products. And what that means is that there's no health exam. They cannot deny your coverage. And new this year for Dergalis and for you, our agents, is short-term and long-term disability insurance, right? You don't ever want the horrible bad news to happen, but
Yep.
you want to prepare for the worst and hope that it doesn't happen. So now you have the ability to subscribe to short-term and long-term disability insurance, in addition to all the other guaranteed issue products that you've always had access to: dental, vision care, accidental, critical illness, and hospital indemnity. What's interesting this year is the enrollment period is a little bit shorter than normal, so please don't delay. You want to look for an email that would have been sent to you directly, and the email sender would have been do not reply, trinofo. I don't know, how would you say that?
Trio. I don't know.
Whatever's on your screen, look for that email address.
Bottom of the screen.
That is how you're going to enroll or get more information. If you still have questions, reach out to your office administrator, reach out to your manager, or I don't know, you can send me an email, send me a text, and I'll try to get you the information as well.
Yep.
It's pretty important. Open enrollment starts in March. This is when she goes, oh, Brent, that doesn't start till March. You have a ways to go. I'm like, Christina,
Apparently it's on Monday.
it's on Monday.
It
It's
shocked me.
already March. I know. So, okay.
It's triunfo.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Sam.
Our Italian in the room. All right. I think without further ado, we should invite Sharan, who's like probably chomping
ready
at
to
the
go,
bit.
yeah.
She's like, come on, people.
She's got the good stuff.
So all the way from Santa Barbara, Montecito, let's welcome Sharan Schefrin to the conversation.
Hello.
There you are.
Hi,
There
Sharan.
I am, zooming in from Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara, my favorite. You're in my favorite home too, by the way.
It's a beautiful day here by the
It's
ocean.
a beautiful
I
day in
say.
Santa Barbara.
It
So
is,
thank you again.
always.
2 weeks in a row. I thank you for your time. Thank you for coming back.
No, thank you for the invitation. It's clearly like you said, an important topic, an interesting topic. Everyone I'm talking to is talking about this. So we're going to do something very different and interesting. And like I said to Christina earlier today, we're doing a live demo. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Don't jinx it.
That's what I said to her.
All right. Well, you're in the driver's seat, so we're going to let you get started, and I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to take notes.
Yeah, so
Okay.
last week, Sharan and I kind of talked a little bit about the shift from SEO to AEO, GEO, what that means, what you need to do to be recognized by AI platforms. As we said with Brent, when you're doing even just a Google search, AI is going out and finding that information and summarizing it to you, offering up a list of agent names. So we're going over best practices on how you can become those agent names. And one of those most important things is your bio online. You need to be clear, consistent, you need to be local, and you need to be active. So today we're actually going to demo 2 of the custom GPTs that our friend Rajiv Saja created specifically for real estate agents. So they're already trained on fair housing. They know real estate best practices. Obviously, you're going to want to make those tweaks that Sharan and I have taught in our past AI classes, which are all recorded and uploaded to Percipio. But today we're just going to walk it through. We're using me as the demo as the candidate. So whether you have a bio or you're like me where I don't have a bio, you can start from any level and get an optimized bio. And then from there, we're going to put it on MyConnect. We're going to put it on Resource. We're going to go through that step by step. This will also help you know what type of information that you should collect and gather. Because some of the questions it asked Sharan and I when we were practicing this, I was like, I'm just going to make this up, but you need to go and find that info about yourself, and you can be prepared. And then after that, we're going to use that bio to help you create more content, such as blogs, YouTube videos, short form videos. So really, it's going to be simple. You'll have it step by step, so you can go back and watch the recording and pause it as you need to. But let's go ahead and pull up ChatGPT, Sharan.
Yeah, so this is where you're going to start. There are lots of AI options out there, but the custom GPTs we're referring to today can only be found on ChatGPT.
We're seeing your
And so,
Word document
We're
right
seeing a Word document. Yeah.
oh, you're seeing a Word document? Okay.
now. Yes.
1 second.
What could go wrong?
We're off. What could go wrong? That's what I
We're already
said.
off to a good start now.
Off to a good start. Here we go. There's ChatGPT, right? I was seeing ChatGPT.
There we
Yep,
go.
there you go.
Bio visibility.
Yes.
Yep.
There
are.
we go. Perfect. So first of all, when you go on to chat, whether you have a free account or a paid account, you should be able to explore GPTs. Now, some people with free accounts have been having issues. I've looked into this and it seems like when ChatGPT is really busy or overloaded or lots of people are using the GPTs, it's restricting access to it from some free accounts. But if you go to a paid account, you definitely have access to GPTs. And so for the left-hand menu here, under here was GPTs. You can see we use a lot of GPTs, but if you want to find one, you just go here to explore GPTs, and then you just can type in. I'm going to type in Rajiv's name because that's how I start off and find lots of our GPTs, because Rajiv's created some great ones. And the first one pops up for me is Agent Bio Visibility Optimizer. That's the one we're going to use today. Tells you a little bit about what it does, and we're going to start chat.
So Sharan, can I stop you for a second? Sam, would you mind putting in the chat? Would you put Rajiv's name in the chat for our agents, and also the name Agent Bio Visibility Optimizer so they could see that? Awesome. Thank you.
So we're going to go ahead, like Christina said, we're going to use Christina as our test dummy today. So we're going to start off by saying she doesn't have a bio. She's fresh. She's starting off. We're going to create some facts about her, but like she said, you need to be very truthful and honest about your business and about the questions that this is going to ask you. If you have a bio, you can copy and paste that and start with that as your starting point. So we're going to start with, can you help me create a bio that optimize my visibility on AI, help me rank in searches when people are searching best or top real estate agent? I'm being deliberately vague on these just so it's going to ask us for more questions so you can see how you can interact with it and how it will get the information from you that it needs in order to do this to the best of its ability.
Okay. That's a good prompt though, by the way.
Yeah, we might have to send out a Word document with some of these prompts on there in the follow-up.
So here we go. It says, yes, it can do it. Fabulous. And it can clearly identify who we are, where we work, all of that good stuff. and supports EEAT. Those of you that watched Jason Pantana with Jimmy Burgess, you'll know this is very important. This acronym, it stands for experience, expertise, authority, and trust. These are the 4 pillars that AI is using to search for you and then recommend you, more importantly. Okay, so step 1, paste your current bio. We don't have one. So now it's saying, what name should the bio use? And do you want to do it in the 3rd person, which is highly recommended because, as Christina and I said before, if it doesn't see your name or it doesn't know who I is. So if you say, I do this, I'm good at this, it doesn't know. It needs to have your full name. So all we're going to do is answer the questions that ChatGPT is asking us. What name should the bio use in 3rd person? And have a full name, or brokerage if you want. So here's what we're going to put in here.
And a reminder from our last class is if you are Christina Collignon on one site, you need to be Christina Collignon on all sites.
Not like
So I
C. Collignon.
Yeah, I should do, Tina, since between Christina, Mill, and I were Chris and Tina. So I can't use Tina unless I want to stick with that on all platforms.
Good to know.
Exactly. So we're saying we don't have a bio. So what do you need for me to start? This is my full name and I want it in the 3rd person.
Mhm.
Okay, so here we go. Again, we're just going to answer these questions. And I was very smart and kind to myself, so I wouldn't embarrass myself with spelling mistakes.
Yes.
I pasted all of these ahead of time. But
Yes.
where do you work? So as
So
we
I-
discussed last week, it's very, very important to be very hyper-focused. I know we all want to be broad. We don't want to close any doors, and we want to get leads from everywhere, no matter where they come from, and that's great. But for the purposes of AI, we really need to hone it down. And this is what it's asking you. So your primary city or state, i.e. your farm, any secondary neighborhoods or areas you want to show up, and your state if licensed differently. And it's already given me an example. So for Christina, we picked these. And so you really, really want to make sure that you're not going too broad, because the way this is working is it's going to connect you with your geographical location and any areas of expertise, which we'll get to in a bit. Okay. So again, we're just going to keep answering all of these questions. Really simple. And if you have any questions as we go along, please ask them, and someone can read them out and stop me, and we can go over those. But really, it's all of these questions. How many years have you been licensed or worked in real estate? What's your brokerage and affiliation? So I'm going to put in here.
And if you're watching along, feel free to take out a notepad and start writing down your own answers so that when you go through, you can have those ready to go. It's going to ask some other questions that you might have to go hunt for, like how many reviews do you have on certain sites? So it gets very specific with those types of questions. But yes, the more accurate you are, and you could say, I've got my license in, 2012, whatever it was, give it as much information as you want, because right now we're being a little vague just for the sake of time and everything. But again, the more information you put into it, the better it's going to hone it. So make sure that you get really detailed. If you're an oversharer, overshare. And if you're not, try to become one with ChatGPT, because as much information as you put in there is better.
You can always edit it back too if you need
Yeah,
to.
exactly. So like for this one, it's asking if you have public reviews on Google Business, Zillow, Realtor.com, any of those. So be accurate if you can. Go to those sites, pull them up. And if you don't have a profile on those sites, a lot of them are ones that Sharan and I have recommended that you do create one on for purposes of AI, because clearly it's asking for these right now as we're optimizing for AI. But
So we got very creative with Christina, and she's very prolific. She's really, even though she doesn't have a bio, she's a really prolific.
Yes. I've just been too busy doing business to write a bio.
Too busy doing business to have a bio. So she's got all of these reviews, right? And we're going to say average star rating is, I don't know, should we give you a 4.8 or should we just go for 5s?
Let's go for 5.
Let's go for 5.
Not an underachiever.
There we go. Not an underachiever.
But again, you want to be honest with these, so make sure that you're actually putting in accurate information. I do not obviously have profiles on any of these sites. This is just for the the demo, but be as honest as you can. So with as little information as we gave it, it's already started giving us bios, which is great. I love that it gives you short, medium, long as well. I do think it's going to ask us a couple more questions though, so that we can continue
And
to
this
refine
already,
this.
the reviews are so important. And this is the big difference between AEO, GEO, and SEO. SEO really wasn't putting as much emphasis on reviews as AI is. So again, you can see this review counts exactly kind of public proof AI tools reward. So this is something that it's actually looking for. And as Christina said, we've got a short bio, we have a medium one, a long bio, right? And we have a website version as well. And I love the fact that it's given this little headline here, right? And her reviews. And then we've now got a skimmable version as well. We're actually going to use this a little bit later, so remember this. And then next but important, you said no claimed or updated profiles. Do you have claimed and updated profiles on homelight.com and homes.com? So these are really important because a lot of you may not realize that you should have profiles on Homelight and homes.com. Just so you know, homes.com is kind of, you've probably seen their ads, they're positioning themselves to be the next Zillow. So if you don't have a profile on there right now, do this exercise and put one on there. That's going to be really important. So I'm going to say, for the purposes of this exercise, I'm going to say, no, I don't have claimed and updated profiles on those two sites. And let's see where we go from there. Okay, it's telling me that's a missed visibility opportunity, obviously. And then what to do next? Claim your profiles, make all of this stuff. So follow all of these instructions. But now I've got platform optimized bios ready to pay. So I've got one for Zillow, for Google Business, Realtor.com, Homes.com, Homelight bio. And then
Sharan, why did they make different ones for different platforms? Is it because it already knows the character count? Does it already know what each of those platforms prefer?
Exactly. Great question and great call out, Brent. Yes, it's characters is one important determinator, but also what those sites are known for, what people are searching for on those sites. It's prioritizing that information.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And also, even though we do say be consistent with all of your information, you don't want the exact same copy paste on every single website. You want to optimize it for that website, whether it's character counts or, again, what Sharan said it's looking for. So it's important to keep the core information consistent. And this way you don't have to rewrite it a bunch of times. It's already giving you the
That's very
optimized
different than
version.
what we were talking about with SEO, right? We were talking that was consistent.
Yeah, well, even with SEO, it's bad to have duplicate content across multiple platforms. So I think it's also following those best practices as well, because like we said, SEO isn't gone, but it's not the only thing that AI is using to find you online.
So we've talked about convention a little bit. You've all gotten, hopefully, an award, which was fantastic. So one thing that I want to now add in here, because give me all this great stuff, but I want to add in that I have my awards, right? So I'm going to say, can you please incorporate my awards? Which we gave Christina some glowing awards. And then it's asking me, yeah, you're really great. I think it kind of asked me what my client, yes, tell me your primary client types. I'm going to say my client, oops, is a luxury client. Because why not?
Why not?
There we go. So now it's going to incorporate my awards into everything that it did before. So even though we've gone down this path and you think of something that it didn't have, don't be afraid to add it in. It's just going to add it in and now give you an even better, richer review bios that you can use in all of these platforms. So
And
now it's
if
saying
you-
now it's award enhanced.
And I was going to say, if you well, hopefully you do go do this on your own. The questions it may ask may come in a slightly different order because even when we do it, it kind of adapts to it. And obviously we did this already, so it's remembering my brokerage on there. But I think another question it had asked was our, total number of transactions per year and our list to sale ratio as well. So we'll go ahead and create a one sheet of all the most important things so that when this recording gets uploaded to Percipio, you have a little bit of a checklist.
So they're not stopping this exercise, going to go find the information and come back. They might have it already readily available. Yes. Okay. What about a newer agent? I mean, you got to say you're 11 years in the business, you're luxury, you got all these awards. I've only been in the business 9 months, a year and a half, but I'm maybe part of a very productive office or I'm part of a team.
Mm-hmm. All that information is important. It also asked me what my background was before getting into real estate, to which I said marketing. So any type of that, any even like community involvement or anything that can relate to it. You could also just say, hey, I'm a new agent, but I want to, pad this as much as possible. Ask me 10 questions that you think would be important to add into my resume, even though I don't have that much real estate experience.
Like transferable skill set.
Exactly.
Like you said, from your previous career or whatnot. So I just don't want to have the audience feel like they're not fitting into this bucket and therefore this is not an exercise for them.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, you can, like we said, be very truthful and honest with your experience, your awards, the kind of expertise you have. We were just having fun with this and created this. This is, Christina, our agent. But yes, be very honest and it will give you exactly what you need based on what you do, your experience level, and everything like that. So the key is to be honest. And this is one thing I like that it does. It gives you a one-line AI search footprint tagline. Use this everywhere. So basically it's got keyword top, because you're calling yourself a top-rated San Diego luxury real estate agent serving these places. And then it's added the awards and afterwards. So this kind of is gold, and this is what AI is searching for. When AI is looking through everything, these are the words that it's captivating, and then using to recommend you. So it's already giving you the information you need to rank highly on those searches. So here now what we're going to add in is volume, because Christina has some, and then her stats, and the price range is, I'm just going to put in price range here, and then we can tell it that, and now it's going to incorporate that information and make it, so now I've given it this information. You can see it's making my bio significantly more rankable, which is another thing AI likes to do, because it's concrete searchable proof. So you definitely want to put in your volume, your past sales, if you have that information. Okay.
Now, if you were to scroll further down, are we going to see a Zillow bio, a Homes.com bio? But still, okay, good.
Yep, here we go.
There you go. All right.
There you go. Yeah, every time we add some new information, it's going to redo everything.
Which I would say then, once you get to a point where you're happy with it, take it and, save it on a Word document on your computer if you'd like to, just so you can go back and reference the versions that you think are the most up to date.
Sure.
And obviously Sharan and I have done this a couple times, so we know some of the information, but you could always say, all right, I feel like this, could use some more information. What other details could you use from me? What am I missing? What do other agents have that I don't have? These are all questions that if you prompt it correctly, it'll give you some more ideas on how to do that.
And here I had just put in, my stats outperform the market. So it's saying that's powerful, but AI search ranks best when it's specific. So that's a good pointer for you. So if you have specifics, whatever data that is, put that in there, because that's what it wants.
So more like instead of outperforming the market, I sell my listings 47% faster at 3% over list price, outperforming the market by 2%.
Yes.
Exactly.
Very specific.
The most detail you can provide, the better.
Okay.
So this will go on and on and on. It's saying, can I produce a home page blurb and FAQ style bio? But what I want it to do now is something different. I want a version for my listing presentation in a storytelling format that will engage my potential sellers and compel them to choose me as their agent. See, this is not something now that's searchable on AI because it's just on your presentation. But I still would like to take all of this great information it's given me and get one for my listing presentation as well.
You just can't help yourself. You're still a marketer at heart.
I can't help myself.
Can't help yourself.
And it's already done so much, we might as well take it over the
might as well
finish
keep
line.
going. AI is a rabbit warren, and I've gone down many rabbit holes with this one, but I
But we
love
had fun
this.
with this one, yeah,
We
because
had a
there's
lot of
several
fun with this one.
versions.
So this was really great. It gave me lots of ideas. It gives you different versions as well, depending on which kind of tone you want to use with these particular sellers. It will even give you a slide-friendly 30-second opener. I mean, it's just amazing what it can do. If you tell me your signature listing approach, I'll weave them into the story so it feels uniquely you. So you can really go to town on this one. But I'm going to get back on track now, so we can move on. And I'm going to say, and I could, trust me, I could go down lots of rabbit holes with this one. This is fun. But we're going to get back to, can we get a version for my brokerage's website that's about 1,100 characters in that? Now, this is what I need to then go to My Connect and Resource Center and punch this bio. Now that it has all my information, this is what I'm going to use. Now, your bio on these two sites is supremely important, not just because it populates those tools within those platforms, but BHHS My Connect populates the website bhhscalifornia.com. So if someone was going to go onto bhhscalifornia.com and search for an agent, they don't see your photo, they don't see your bio, they're probably not going to pick you, right? So that's why it's so important to update your bio there. Likewise, on Resource Center populates not just marketing resource and all the tools, great tools in Resource Center, but that populates bhhs.com. So really important, which gets like about 16 million visitors annually. Really important. So I'm going to show you now where you're going to, this is what it's given us, right?
Yep.
You can edit it, you can tweak it however you want. But what we're going to do now is we're going to copy this, right? You just basically highlight it, copy that, copy. And then we're going to go over to My Connect. Here is My Connect. Can you all see My Connect?
Yep.
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 And then right here, you should have a photo. If you don't have a photo, you'll have a little grayed out icon with a headshot in it. You'll click on that and you'll go to Profile. Here's my photo, right? If you don't have a photo, this is where you're going to upload your photo. And then you're just going to scroll down a little bit further, a little bit further. Here's your bio, right? And here I'm going to just paste my bio. There we go. And I've lost, there we go. Okay, my browser doesn't want to paste, but this is where you're going to paste your bio. This is what could go wrong with a live demo. There's where you're going to paste it, and then you're going to hit save and close. And now your bio is in My Connect, and it's going to start feeding bhhscalifornia.com, as well as all of the great resources that we have on here. And your photo is used in Design Studio. It's used on BHHS Connect. It's used for lots of things. So you're one and done if you do it there.
And even if you already do have a bio on My Connect, you can take that bio, put it into the bio visibility optimizer and say, don't change the character counts, but I would like this optimized to rate me as the best top agent.
Right.
So that's how you would do it if you had an existing bio. So even if you have one, you're not off the hook.
Exactly. Do this exercise even if you have one. And I would say take it, put it into the custom GPT first so it's consistent across all platforms.
Yep.
And it's the same process on Resource Center. So here's a homepage on Resource Center. Again, you're going to click on your photo. If you don't, it's going to be grayed out. And you go to My Profile. Slightly different here. When you get into My Profile, you're going to hit Edit. And once you hit Edit, then you are going to see, and it's named differently. Here it's called About Me. And this is where you're going to go ahead and copy and paste the bio that we created on ChatGPT here. Click Save. And you are now set for My Connect, Resource Center, and you will be populating on bhhscalifornia.com and bhhs.com.
Yeah.
Again, really supremely important because AI is skimming those sites for you. And if it doesn't see a profile on there or it doesn't see an optimized one, you're going to miss out. So all of these sites are really, really important.
And if our agents haven't taken the time to update their MyConnect profile, they just have that standard one.
which
Yes.
It's pretty standard.
is pretty standard. So you're
Very
going to want to
standard.
update that.
It's
Yes.
pretty standard.
Yes, and you'll be the same as some other agents that
You'll
have
be exactly the same as the
same
next agent on the
bio.
next page.
Even just saying Christina Collignon is a real estate agent is better than the standard on there. So
Please, please.
So now we've done this, we wanted to show you one more GPT. I'm just going to
Mhm.
switch over to a new one, and it's called
Okay.
AI Answer Builder. Same
Okay, Sam,
process.
will you put this in the chat, Sam? This tool?
And this one I really like as well. We were playing around with it a couple days ago. This is great because once you have a bio on all of those sites like homes.com, Fast Expert, Google Business, social media, it even gave you Instagram bios, Facebook bios as well. Obviously, you want to be doing one of those 4 pillars that we mentioned last week, which is being active, also being local. And AI Answer Builder is something that can help you be consistent, clear, active, and local with the content that you are posting.
Okay.
So same process to find it. You're going to go to Explore GPTs, type in Rajiv's name, and then look for AI Answer Builder. And then with any GPT on anything, you can always click on here and it will tell you what this GPT does. Like, what do you do? I don't know what you do.
And even
So
if that's not an option, you can just say, what do you do?
what do you do? Or you can type in, what do you do? So this is designed to help real estate agents show up in AI answer engines, right? So it's giving structured, citation-friendly content. Again, location, service, really important things, right? So it's going to help us create content. It's going to stay compliant with fair housing. That's why we love Rajiv, because he thinks about all of these things, right? And entity clarity, really important. So here it says, if you tell me your market and the client type, it can generate a list of high intent questions and best page angles for you. So remember we said before that the skimmable, let me go back to it. The skimmable was important. So I'm going to go back to where it created a skimmable bio for Christina. Well, we created a lot of bios.
Was that like that one sentence?
It was several bullet points.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Here we
yes,
go.
there it is.
So what I'm
Skimmable
going to
bullet bio.
do is I'm just going to copy this, right? I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to Answer Builder and I'm going to put this information in so that Answer Builder knows everything there is to know about me and my business in one snapshot, so it can create content for me that's specifically tailored for me. Okay. Wow, Christina, you have 400 plus 5-star reviews across major platforms. Good for you.
What can I say? But I love this because it gives you different options for the types of content that you can put in there. And even if you're like, I don't know if I really connect with any of those, you could say, what about these other topics if you have something in mind, or maybe you specialize in certain areas. Hopefully that's in your skimmable bio, but you can always say, okay, but I'd also like to add these options in as well.
So here it's giving us 10 high intent AI search questions. This is what people are asking AI. So these are the questions you should be answering to be relevant and to be recommended, right? So what's the difference between Pacific Beach and Mission Beach? These are real questions that people are asking AI, right? So here are page opportunities. This is what it's saying, recommending for us to do to capitalize on answering those questions. It's even giving us YouTube topics, right? Designed to rank and convert. And so now here we get to the question answer phase. This is where Christina and I had some fun the other day going through this. So Brent, I'm going to use you now because Christina's already had fun with this. So all we're going to do is reply with this. So it wants us to choose a direction. So which direction out of A, B, and C, what are we going to choose? Pacific Beach versus Mission, how to win multiple offer strategy for beach communities, or seller-focused pricing and marketing strategy page?
I like C.
C. Do it. Okay, C. And then also tell me which output you want. Single asset, authority package, or full AI visibility package.
Oh, you said full, so we got to go with a full
We're
AI
going
visibility
full
package. We're going full.
Good answer. Okay, here we go.
And I remember when it was generating, I was like, do you think it'll give content for social media videos? And
But
it sure did.
It sure did. Okay, so now for your seller-focused pricing and marketing strategy asset, what's the primary question you want the content to answer? So here we go, Brent. How should I price my home to sell in La Jolla or Pacific Beach without leaving money on the table? What's the best marketing strategy to sell a home there in 2026? How do I choose between pricing aggressively versus pricing at market value? What renovations, if any, should I do before selling?
Mm.
All good topics.
Yeah, I know. I think there's usually sellers want a combination of those, but let's go with number one.
Number one. Okay. See, this is fun. You don't have to do so much. It's doing all the thinking for you.
Yes.
And then you
And
can
then
go back and pick another one and get
Mhm.
content for the other one, right? You don't have to start with just one.
And if we had chosen 4, which was the upgrades, then that would be a great opportunity for you to tell ChatGPT about our Home Ready programs and all the different services we offer. So remember, even as it's giving you all this great content, you still want to add in your own specifics. You need to review it and say, okay, what tools and resources or skills do I have that it may not have put in here, so that you can continue to optimize it. So it sounds like it's coming from you and not from ChatGPT. This is just to get you over that first hurdle.
So here are some headline options. And again, remember how we said talking in the third person and using your name was so important. One of these headlines, how Christina Collignon prices homes in La Jolla and Pacific Beach to attract strong offers. That's a great headline, right? That's something that people are going to want to click on. And again, you're associating your name with strong offers and again, those 2 communities that she's specializing in. And here is the full package. So we have a direct answer. And it even tells you who this page helps, how she's solving the pricing. Christina Collignon solves the pricing problem. Love it, right? Love these headlines. And again, a step-by-step pricing process. This is so much great content that's going to get you recognized and recommended by AI. So look at this. I mean, you can go on, you can do so many things with this. Here's a blog article if you didn't have enough already, right? So you've got blog articles as well, all about what we talked about. FAQs, a call to action even, which is great. A YouTube content package. When Christina said, do you think they'll do social media? I said, I think it will. Here we go. There's your YouTube package. It even tells you the timing, exactly how long you should be talking about this, right? The next spec set, this is from that. And so your call to action, love it. All of this stuff, step by step, you literally cannot go wrong.
And even the YouTube description, which I love.
So remind us,
chapter timestamps, the hook.
You started this by filling out what was that? You called it the skimmable?
The skimmable bullet points that it takes from the agent bio visibility optimizer. It kind of takes all the high level topics about you, the most important facts about you. So even though we just put that in there, you could still give it more information about yourself, but that's a great place to at least start.
And then it started asking us questions where Sharan gave me the option 1 or 4 or A or B.
Do my business. And then it goes, okay, well, these are the top questions being asked in those communities by buyers and sellers. I think in one of our practice sessions, it asked, do you want to target buyers, sellers, or both? We said both. And so I think in our practice session, we also said I was a sports and entertainment specialist since we have that new division as well. So it started asking questions specific to that. So that, it takes all of those details and then starts creating content based off of who you are and where you do business and what people are searching for in those areas.
I can't remember if it was you or if it was you, Sharan, but I remember one of you saying, treat ChatGPT as if you're having a dialogue with it, right? You're not just putting information in, you're actually having a communication with it. It's asking you questions, but you should not be afraid to ask questions back.
I ask all the time.
And then you're going to get better content, better output.
Sometimes I'm like, all right, I know I'm missing something. What else do you need from me? And it'll spit out 10 different things. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
And then, I like what you said, Sharan. Now poke holes in this. What would you, like if you were my competition, what would you say? Or how can the seller criticize this marketing plan or something so that you're prepared for both sides of it?
It's very important to not just take it as is and to kind of nudge it further in one direction or the other so that you have the best possible content outcome. Because again, we're using it as a tool. We're not copying, pasting it and uploading it as is. It's just a means to get you there.
So if I can try to summarize, right? You took the bio to make sure that you were foundable, right? You can be, you're referable when AI does all the searches, and part of that process then was it made that skimmable, the bullet points.
Yep.
You went then to the second tool that then helped you create all of this content for various different platforms, for YouTube, for
Correct.
social media, and so forth.
Correct.
So that now you have content on all those different platforms. So that in addition to where you had us paste those profiles on bhhscalifornia.com or bhhs.com, you need content on all those other platforms as well, so that when AI does those searches, you're found to be authoritative, trustworthy, accomplished. Because the whole purpose of this episode was to be searchable, to be found, so that when AI is responding to consumers, who is the best Crown Point, Mission Beach agent who sells luxury real estate?
Yes.
Christina Collignon is going to come up, right? It's you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, she's gonna. Yeah, so basically the bio is your starting point. Your bio should be optimized first. This is now giving more proof. That's the word AI likes, more proof to that bio. It's giving it evidence that Christina is really who she says it is, who she says she is, even though you're supplying all of that. And going back to your previous point, Brent, we're doing this very quickly and we're giving it the answers, but you absolutely should have a dialogue. You should absolutely say, explain this to me, or what about this? And should I be giving you this? For example, right here, it's giving us our visibility score on all of the content it's just created. And everything's a 9 or a 10. Evidence is a 7 because we're missing market data, comp, and examples, right? So it's giving us that information. So I could then ask it, what kind of market data or comp examples would be best served to improve my visibility? And then you could go on from there. So that's something that you can carry on with. Here right now it's asking to give 3 reviews. So you copy and paste your reviews and you can see how you can keep going, create content. And this is just giving that proof, that authority and that trust, so that when people are typing in who is the best agent in Crown Point or who knows how to price property accurately in La Jolla, Christina's going to pop up because not only does it say it in her bio, but now there's this blog and this YouTube script and this section on her website that's addressing all of those questions.
So I know you're going to say all of it. But we have some agents, right? I don't want them to feel bait and switched. We have some agents who are going to, okay, I can do the bio. I know that I need to do that. And I can come over here and I can start working on the content. But I'm not going to be able to do all those YouTubes. I'm not going to be able to do all the social media. I'm not there yet. Is there one in particular? Is there one that you recommend that they do first, if they can just focus on that one?
I would say
do the one
on
that
your
you
bio.
can do.
Yeah, focus on your bio, because as you saw, you can put a lot of information in your bio, your reviews, your business, your awards. That alone will help you with your visibility. It won't get you all the way there, but it will help a lot. And if you're starting from nothing and doing that, you're already going to see improvement. So I would say don't be daunted. Don't be overwhelmed. You can't tackle AI in one session. It can't be done, right? But if you take it in small increments and do a little bit each day, each week, before you know it, you will be there. And so if it seems too much, too overwhelming, just take as much as you can do, but start somewhere and do something and commit to doing something as much as your schedule will allow. I think Glenn was sharing with us that he sets aside a time each week just to devote to it, whatever you can do.
And I would say, obviously, get those bios set, but I'm going to use the same advice that I use for social media when I'm talking about Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube. I can't do all of those. Which one are you already comfortable with? Which one are you already posting on? If you're not posting on any of them, which one seems the most like you and your brand? Pick that one. Do it at a regular cadence, just like Sharan and Glenn recommended. Pick 1 hour per week where you're like, okay, I'm going to focus on creating, some short form videos on Instagram, and I'm going to do 3 reels this week. Or maybe you're more comfortable on doing long form posts on LinkedIn, or you want to answer questions on Reddit. Pick one of those after you do your bios. Pick one platform where you can regularly publish content that you're already comfortable with, and then you can go from there. Because once you start doing that, you'll feel more comfortable doing on other platforms as well.
So not TikTok dancing.
Unless you want to.
Unless you're really good at it. I mean,
No.
I mean, aren't we doing one after this?
You're probably going to make me do one after this, knowing you.
and I think we have a couple of minutes for questions if there's any
Yeah.
questions. And Christina and I always, if you have a topic or something that you would like us to do a deeper dive on, we're always open to your suggestions. And we'll do research, and we want to make this useful for you. So if something you're coming across or something you want us to explore a little bit further, please let us know.
Well, that's a
Yep.
perfect segue, because I want to say 2 years now. Was it 2 years ago
I don't know.
that you started this journey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
2 years ago.
you guys
2 years
sound like
convention.
you're experts because you have trained yourself to be experts. But 2 years ago, AI was just 2 letters to you.
It was
Yeah.
brand new, but we do that exactly what we're telling you to do. We spend 1 hour a week together doing research.
Yep.
And then just to do another plug for Success Path, we are going to be a recurring topic on Success Path. So you can join us at any time when we do those, in addition to any time we're back on Go Live.
We want you to stay focused on real estate. That's your highest and best use. That's what you guys got into this business for. But I think Sam's queued it up. Perfect timing, Sam, as always. So it doesn't matter how good you are in real estate if people can't find you, right? AI is becoming the new tool for referrals. And so a lighthouse that refuses to shine cannot guide a single ship. So we want you guys to shine. We want you guys to be found each and every time, whether it's Mission Beach, Crown Point, La Jolla, or anywhere else in our magnificent footprint. So take the time to learn what these magnificent ladies just taught you. Today's episode will be recorded. You'll find it tomorrow on Percipio. Watch it. Watch any of the previous episodes on Percipio and all of the quick win collectives with Jimmy Burgess and Sam Guillen. And you two will be able to learn a little bit more about AI. You won't necessarily have to be AI experts, because we'll be here to do that for you. You continue to do what you do so incredibly well. And we will see you next Tuesday right here. We won't ask you back. We'll give you a week off.
I'll be behind the camera.
We'll give you a
where I
week off.
belong.
Yeah, show our host some love. Hit the reaction button there. Show them some love. The recordings are available in Percipio. We're putting that into the chat now. And that's where you will also find the one sheet that these wonderful ladies are going to create for you, so you can download there. Go to Percipio. That's where you will find all of their wonderful content that they always do for us. An entire library of just these beautiful, incredibly smart ladies are doing for all of you.
We
So,
never get that much love when it's just me. I don't know.
And don't forget, we're on YouTube now too, so that should be on YouTube as well. We're streaming those
Yep.
as well, so you can join in at any time.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon.
Bye,
Bye,
Sharan.
everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye, Sharan. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.